Hi, welcome to this channel on magnetic energy, technology, principles, and applications. This video is about magnetic energy and free will. Oh no, not free will. Don't tackle free will. Okay, this video in no way, shape, or manner diminishes the epic song "Free Will" by Rush. Just saying, okay, because they're still amazing and epic, even. Okay, here's to you, Neil. So, free will is this concept. It's one of these concepts in that you will see often recurring in a state of low vibration transition, like in a cycle of low vibration, low magnetic resonant vibration on a planet. So it's this idea, like when people have embraced the philosophy of empiricism and the practice of that, and the whole belief in isolation. And so it's the idea that we are nothing more than our physical bodies and that we're isolated from everyone else. And so from that point of view, then we start interpreting our actions and our behavior from merely a physical perspective. So then, like, we'll say, wow, well, look at this, hey, I have free will, I can do this, I can do that. And that may be like the ability to choose, but it's always the ability to choose within a very specific set of parameters according to the real you. So think about the incarnated physical body, okay? Then the energy body that's linked up to that, connected to that, that's what runs this, that's what gives us the interface. And then our true selves are connected to the energy bodies. And I mean, you could say we're several realms or dimensions above this and millions of light years away. Whatever you want to say. It might as well be, right? Now, of course, in the magnetic world, there is no such thing as space or time, and so our true selves are beyond space and time. And our true selves, along with quite a lot of other, let's be as kind as we can say this and say a lot of other stakeholders that have an interest in what happens in that particular incarnation or that series of incarnations. There could be quite a number of entities or beings involved in that decision-making process, along with our higher selves, as to what that particular incarnation that our true selves are connected to, what needs to happen during that lifetime, what needs to be accomplished, there's certain things. There's a set of tasks. There's a set of things that must happen. Relationships. Maybe there's some growth involved. So yes, free will, of course, at the higher perspective, at our true selves, yes, that's cool, and that fits well, because our true selves could be in a lot of communication, decision making, revolving a series of incarnations, and that's fine, and all of that's very much by choice and big decisions. But from an from the physical body point of view, yes, we have the ability to choose, but to say we have free will is probably an overstatement, because there are certain parameters that have to happen in certain lives. And you may see that. There may be a series of coincidences or series of things that happen that maybe prevent you from having certain things happen in your life, or something that you think you want very badly and it doesn't go your way, or things change and then you find yourself on a path, and it's all this whole thing, like people kind of get in this mentality of this victim mentality, like life is doing this to me, or something's making this happen to me, when that's not really at all what's happening. There are embedded magnetic resonances in our incarnated bodies and in the events and in the series of events that we attract and that are attracted to us. And all of those are, if you will, pre-programmed, pre-polarized to make sure that certain tasks are completed that you chose on your true self level. And so that's, if you think about that, now if you want to tap into what the real path is, what your real path is, and that's where this video is going, of what's coming in these earth changes and this shift in consciousness. Of course, you already know the answer to this question. What is the one part of us that is still in touch with our true selves and is tapped into our actual paths that we have chosen and co-created with an untold number of various beings or stakeholders that have an interest in what's happening? The heart center, the intelligence, the universal intelligence that we are connected to through our heart centers, that loving presence, that loving connection that goes all the way to the top. That's our ticket to the top. That's our line of communication. Tuning into your heart center, tuning into that energy, into that vibration, shows the resonant energies that are on the path that you have truly chosen. Not from an ego perspective, not from a incarnation perspective, but from a much higher perspective. And that's the energy to tune into. So, as we go through this transition, and as the magnetic resonance and magnetic vibration and pulse rate rises around our planet, and our people become more in tune with their heart centers, not only do they become more in tune with the true paths that they have chosen from a higher level so that they have less resistance to those paths, they also become in tune with each other and the global organism, the global consciousness, and the desire to stay in line with that global consciousness. So if you, and that global organism, so if you can imagine for a moment that at a higher level, millions or even billions of beings have chosen together a certain path on this planet, a certain path of, say for example, rising in consciousness. And that global organism, all those beings being connected to all those incarnations are wanting to move in this direction, and then something else is trying to go, and maybe one person, one incarnation, or even up to millions of incarnations at this point are resisting that, and they're trying to go in another direction. And maybe they're saying, I have free will, I can do whatever I want. The problem with that is we are not isolated. Even at a physical incarnated level, we are part of a global organism, especially from a magnetic point of view, from a resonance point of view. We are all connected. And so we've been taught about this whole thing, and so many people believe that we're isolated. But as we move into higher consciousness, that view will completely just be dismantled. It'll wash away. And that realization of that global organism and that interconnectivity becomes so strong that we realize that we are part of a much larger organism. And it's about being with that organism together and moving in a direction that we have all truly chosen at a higher level. The true paths that we have chosen to create, to experience, to express. And that is where the magic lies. That's where the profound experiences happen. That's where the expanded consciousness, the realizations, the revelations, a lot of it really is about surrendering the ego to, and there's a million books and teachings on this, but a lot of it really does come down to surrendering the ego, not just for your own true self, your higher self, but for the global organism that we are all part of. And that way, that's our true nature. So there's no isolation, and there's much more than the physical world. And the heart center, especially even now and in meditation, that's our interconnectivity. That's our ticket to understanding what our paths are really calling us to do. And so getting beyond the empirical model, getting beyond the isolated model, and moving into that, then we recognize, yes, we do have a type of a free will at a much higher level. And it's very important that we recognize that, and that our ability to choose is our ability to choose wisely in this incarnation and be part of a much bigger, grander, more profound, more exciting, more dynamic, more explosive, like in a positive way, picture of the universe and a global enlightenment and progress and evolution that can take us to places that we can't even imagine. And so, wow, do we try and try and try and try and resist what is really being told to us in our hearts, or do we surrender to that process and recognize that the surrendering is the doorway, the gateway to a much more profound experience than we think we're creating from our ego? And so that's, I know that's preachy, and I get that, but part of it is just recognizing that as we move into this consciousness and in these transitions, how important it is to recognize our place in the universe and our place among the other incarnated beings and our soul, our true selves, and our place in that, and how we're part of everything and connected to everything. That connection is very, very important. It's real, and it's how we all move forward and how we save this planet, how we heal this planet, and how we save each other, and really change what's going on and remove scarcity and get into a place of prosperity where we can thrive in a healthy environment and thrive with a great expanded consciousness, and then move beyond this planet and move into the stars and beyond. And so with that, I will see you next time.